those words, they hurt me. You'd found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson and nobody cares. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You always made sure I was last, never was anyone's friend in class. You always seemed angry and mad, but I know deep down you are so sad. You are so sad. Happy people don't do shit like that. So stop dragging me down. So stop dragging me down. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You'd hurt me and do it all over again. You'd hurt me and do it all over again. And you know I never liked them, and it's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You'd hurt me and do it all over again.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
When I see you there, and my heart goes blind. When I see you there, and my heart goes blind. Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. Buy another shot, you got me drinking. Girl, you shut me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born a saint, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you, for you. All the times with you, they just fly by. All the memories pop up on my timeline. Change your colors on me like you're tie-dye. Got me falling for you, I ain't like a skydive. See you in another dimension. Can't sleep on my night's rest. Baby girl, you were my best my best friend. Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Could you show me down and there's no witness? Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you were the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born to sing, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you. For you, for you. 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 I got you and your vibes in my mind, I can't get them out, no matter how hard I try. I need you and your heart next to mine, yeah, I'm all about keeping it you and I. When you're here, you spark chemical reactions. Your aura strikes like lightning. Got no words, I'm just drowning in attraction. Only one way to describe it. It's electric, can you feel it? You got the only touch that takes me high. It's electric, I'm up in my feelings.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhalla Campbell live stream. Welcome to playoff Fortnite duos. But with that being said, we are already in drop, so we're gonna switch over very quickly for you guys. I'll explain a little bit about our formatting change. So we are officially in playoff, and well, to be completely honest with you guys, we have a lot of teams that are fighting for top spots here. So we're going to see a little bit of a different stream. You guys will have to bear with us a little bit. Things are a little choppy. This is our first time trying this format out, but we're going to be bouncing around between 4 different teams. Whichever team is in combat, whichever team has the most action going on is the team that we're going to be watching. So it's not anything that you guys have to worry about, but you'll have to excuse us, specifically me, if things are a little choppy, things aren't going over smoothly. But with that being said, let me introduce you to the teams that we'll be watching. Starting off here, we have the Honored Ones 2.0, aka Zarek and Evan. Zarek being Z-Fit and Evan being Valhalla Campbell 12. Who we'll see in a little bit here soon is next up is going to be Full Box 200, aka Eli and Jordan. Eli being Washed Bean and Jordan being Ravine FN. Third team, aka The Robbers, or Matthew and Cohen. Matthew going as Solar Rotten and Cohen going as Split Potato. And finally, the fourth team we could be popping in, switching between, are going to be the Cheezburgerz, Lachlan and Bryce. Lachlan going as Dungeons and Bryce going as Valhalla Camp Hill 4. So as things progress here, we're going to bounce around, see what's going on. We're going to watch a little bit of Zarek and Evan here. Give them a moment. We're going to see their loot. Once they start to rotate here, we'll switch to someone else and see what they're doing. But yes, very excited about this new format. I don't believe we're going to see this all the time. Might be just something of a playoff seasonal kind of thing, but very excited, very much looking forward to this format and hoping that it goes all smooth and that you guys enjoy it. So we are just seeing Evan and Zarek here, just finishing up the little bit of looting up that they do with this unnamed POI that they love to go. We've seen them go here every time we've watched them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it definitely is not broken for these guys. And once these guys start to farm that metal, potentially start to rotate out here, is when we're going to switch over to some of our other teams. But real quick, taking a quick look at their loadouts. Looks like we have Evan here with the, oh gosh, I forget the name of that shotgun, but a blue shotgun and a gray AR. Probably not in a position he wants to be. Evan, though, having great amount of heals, specifically being shield, so these guys are not going to have to worry about that. Let's take a quick peek at Zarek's before we switch over. Zarek having a legendary shotgun, that's crazy. And then also having the scoped SMG there. So we expect Zarek to see Zarek absolutely beam people from across the map. Zarek also having a good amount of heals as well. But these guys are going to farm some materials, and we're going to switch over to Full Box 200 and see what those guys are doing. Actually, these guys aren't even in drop yet. So we're going to switch over to the Robbers and see what those guys are doing. And actually, we joined a little bit late, but just at the right time, as we're going to see, I believe, Matthew here clean up a kill. Getting a little unfortunate for us that we missed that, but these guys having an insane amount of loot already. We see Matthew having 2 purples and the green SMG, excuse me. Matthew and Cohen here are in the same division as Lachlan and Evan, so we could at some point see a battle of the ages, and actually this other team that we're going to tune into here in a minute is also in that same division. These 3 teams really fighting for those top 3 spots. Ideally that number 1 spot, because every team wants to bring home a banner. As we see some kills going off here, though. Take a quick look at Cohen's loadout and see what he's rocking with. Again, very similar loadout here. Actually, we see Cohen carrying quite a bit of heals. And this early game, we don't expect to see much action. Again, got a little unfortunate that we didn't get to see Matthew clean up some of those kills. But we're going to pop into our final team, the Cheezburgerz, and see what those guys are up to. Looks like these guys are in the storm already, so definitely don't want to take too much damage. Luckily, they are able to get out here. Currently watching Lachlan, him having quite a bit of good loadout items here, as we see 2 purples and I believe green. Switching to the map so fast I can't see. He's got that twin fire auto shotgun and the kneecapper, not a purple weapon, but a very good movement item. We see a lot of this season so far. And then the green hollow scoped AR, I believe is what that AR is called. And these guys just playing their best, and it looks like they are matching, which is something we love to see from these guys. Going over here to Bryce, as we see everybody having really balanced loadouts so far this game. Bryce going to drop the wind sprite there for some gold chugs. Going to use that med grenade to heal him and his teammate up from that little bit of storm damage that they took. Man, actually, it looks like someone could be landing on Bryce here. Bryce going to want to take some shots. Misses one. Misses another. Can he find the third? Lachlan absolutely beaming him. And now Bryce is going to switch to a different gun. Hopefully try to find some. And Lachlan got the knock. Actually, the straight up elim. So must have been a solo. That's a great kill from them, though. As now they're going to have free reign of all of this loot. And we do see the chug jug there. That is a really good way to get heals up, and it is full at 200, so anticipate that someone's going to carry it. But now that we've cycled through all the teams, we're going to go back here to the honored ones and hang out with them for a little bit longer. Alrighty. Again, keeping an eye on Zarek and Evan here, as it looks like we unfortunately did miss some kills from these guys. Again, gonna watch them a little bit longer here as they kind of peruse around the map and see if they can't find any more targets. Some of you at home may know that Zarek is I'm a fan of Zarek. I'm a fan of his game, so always love to watch Zarek when I have the opportunity. I call him the laser beam because that's what he does. And we're just seeing these guys try to maximize their loot here. These guys just finding so much loot. And honestly, such a big brain play there from Zarek. Doesn't need the full big, but wants to use it. Would rather be at 200 than let another team pick that up. You know, honestly, I'm very interested to see how this Division 3 game is going to wind down. So it looked like all of our teams so far has had some form of combat, whether we saw it or we missed it, unfortunately. And these guys seem to be in free reign here, so we're actually going to swap back to our Division 1 team being full box 200, and hopefully those guys are finally in drop now. Looks like we actually joined in at a really good time. These guys trying to loot up the train here. Not a lot of loot here on the side of Jordan. So he's just got gray scoped SMG and the green shotgun. So definitely not the most comfortable for him, but these guys are going to try and loot this vault on the train. And it looks like here Jordan is going to finish off the boss. And now some really good top tier loot here that these guys are able to get. Just something that they definitely needed. As we see Jordan have a mythic already. Picks up the Chug Jug. Gonna find the legendary AR as well. Just like that. Excuse me. Just Jordan's loadout changing immensely. I assume the same for Eli as well. And these guys are gonna get up to 200 of each, or 100 of each, 200 health in total here. And Eli and Jordan, a very aggressive team. This is a team that we expect to see not be afraid to run other teams down, challenge them, and see if they can put a lot of pressure on these teams early. And it looks like Eli and Jordan are going to spot someone here in the bush. Jordan's going to land a bunch of big shots. And actually, they get a quick elim. Wow, what a great team kill there for Eli and Jordan. I believe Eli's going to get the credit for both of those, but absolute team work there. That was beautiful. I don't even know how Jordan, I think it was Jordan, saw that guy in the bush. I don't know if he saw his gun poking out or what, but that is a great way. It's something we just talked about. These guys are not going to be afraid to push teams and put them in bad spots, and we saw it there. And that's the kind of gameplay we can expect from watching Eli and Jordan. It looks like these guys are going to try to loot black market here, see if there's anything left to be desired. And looks like they are going to buy one of the hollow point ARs. And actually, I can see, it looks like Matthew and Cohen are in some combat, so we're going to switch to them very quickly. Thought I saw some shots getting traded over their screens, so I want to tune in and see what these guys are doing. Looks like they're playing high ground right now. No real need to change in their position as they have zone completely secured at this point, but those look like potentially Cohen sees an enemy. No shots exchanged though. We didn't actually get to see if he saw someone, but we do have the visual audio trigger there, so someone definitely close at this point. These guys might rotate dead zone if they want to avoid this fight. And actually a bunch of builds over on that other mountaintop. They could catch a team out that has to rotate into zone. These guys just trying to get as much intel as possible. They do see a car, and we do see some shots get exchanged there. A lot of vehicles coming up towards them. We're going to see Matthew laser a vehicle out of the sky. He's going to do it again, too. Gets one hit there for 15. Fortunately, not enough to put pressure on that team. These guys just going to chill, though. Want to make sure that they don't expose themselves in any way. especially in this scenario. And realistically here, these other teams have to push to them. So these guys are in a really crucial spot. They do not have to go very far to zone. And they can just pretty much sit here and wait and look pretty, potentially try to pick off some of these teams that are rotating over. But they are getting shot at a little bit here. Their base getting fired at. Definitely going to have to be careful with how they rotate when they do. Don't see anyone peeking out quite yet. These guys making sure they don't take any unnecessary damage. And we do see they have a car secured down there. They could just make their way down and try to rotate into that, which is pretty much what we expect. And it looks like they're going to go. Actually, no, Matthew doesn't want to go yet. He's going to prep the car, though. He's going to wait for Cohen to jump in. And they are going to go. Looks like they're going to try and rotate this dead side behind some of these teams. Hopefully they don't get caught out themselves here. And Matthew actually going to take a little bit of damage there. And it looks like right on their ping, right where they wanted to go, is another team. So they're going to have to decide here whether they want to take this engagement or if they want to leave. I don't think they're quite in circle yet. I think they're right on the edge. I think they have to move maybe another wall over. And it looks like they are just going to fully get out at this point. As these guys rotate around here, we're going to go to the Cheezburgerz and see if they are still hanging in there. And actually, looks like we might have seen both sides of that little skirmish there. Might have been the Robbers versus the Cheezburgerz up on that snowy mountaintop. As Lachlan and Bryce here are going to try and contest Mask Meadows. A little bit of a misplay here. Potentially some miscommunication. Looks like Lachlan's going to try and close the distance. A lot of combat going on. I'm pretty sure every one of our Division 3 teams at this point, that being Honored Ones 2.0, the Robbers and the Cheezburgerz, both have 2 kills each. So really interested to see how those teams are going to contest for ideally that top spot, if not a little later on. Lachlan and Bryce here just absolutely prioritizing position here in Storm. As these guys are going to hunker down here, we're going to go back to Honored Ones 2.0 and see where they're at on this map. And actually, they're in the circle. Looks like they might be able to get out here, taking a good bit of damage. Luckily, Storm is only 2 tick right now, so they don't have to worry too yet, but this circle is going to start to get hectic, and it's going to start to get hectic fast. And something that we see now is actually we know that other team that was just firing at the Honored Ones was Lachlan and Bryce. Evan and Zara are going to try to do their best to distance themselves from that, especially because it looks like right now neither of them might have green heals. And just got an update out of the 12 players left. We are 10 of them, but I mean Valhalla Campo as an arena has 10 of those 12 players, so these guys absolutely showing off. And these guys getting lucky here, being able to maximize their health output, as Evan just about at full and Zarek being at full. And actually, excuse me, did I say 2 kills? I meant 6 for Evan and Zarek, because these guys have just apparently been running down the lobby. We're going to stay on Evan and Zarek for a little bit here. These guys are going to try and move their way into storm, or into circle, excuse me. And Zarek likes this little mountaintop here, this little hilltop, I should say. So we see some shots coming from behind them. A lot of vehicles coming. Just going to play patient. Doesn't want to take any shots. Zarek, though, wants some. Evan now going to follow his IGL's lead. Another vehicle coming up. We could see the same thing again. And we are going to see it. That vehicle being so close to weak. They actually do get the explosion. Oh, just so close. We saw Zarek hit him a bunch. Evan as well hit him for 13 white. Evan going to find a kill there. And we see the rift, but Evan's going to chase him down. Looks like he's going to abandon that idea and just regroup with his IGL. Switching to Zarek's perspective here. Zarek finding some big shots. Trying to get back in the box with his teammate here. So Evan wants to heal up. And these guys are actually in a really ideal position. This lobby is dwindling quick. 6 players in total. 4 not counting Evan and Zarek. And unfortunately, the robbers, that being Matthew and Cohen, are out of this drop. Still have no ideas if the Cheezburgerz are still in it. We assume so. The visual audio cue here, as these guys are going to get jumped on a little bit, and Zarek's going to get captured. These guys actually could make a huge play here to get on top of the floating islands here, as they're going to try and find some shots at this player gliding in. Zarek finding one though, and just got confirmation again that Valhalla Camp Hill was all 6, and now currently 5. So everybody really showing out, and whoever landed on top of these floating islands with these guys are going to have to deal with the boss. And Zarek's hungry for a kill. He's going to fly over, see if he can't clean one up. Evan not exactly with him quite yet, but he's going to join his captain. Or I guess I should say his IGL, not his captain. And actually it looks like they're going to try and get off of this floating island. Don't like their positioning. Going to try and get close to that storm rotation as possible. And actually, they didn't. They're kind of far away. So we're going to see Zarek absolutely laser beam someone. Hits him for 95 in total, almost cracking his shield. And these guys have to be aware of the possibility that someone could drop down from below on them. Yet again, we see Zarek trying to find some shots, taking a little bit of storm damage. These guys need to be aware of that. Evan and Zarek playing very carefully here. Zarek's got high ground on someone, and he finds a knock. Actually, it was a full elim. 2v2, and Zarek puts a bunch of good damage. And these guys are unfortunately separated. Evan being down low, Zarek being on high ground. Zarek finds some good shots, though. It's someone dropping in, and these guys are going to try to glide down together. But Evan and Zarek have free reign right now. They're free to take as many shots as they want. Zarek actually gets landed on, gets called off a little bit. Yeah, finds a great knock, though, on one. Zarek, if there's anyone that can do it, it's him. He's got ice in his veins. And he finds it. Zarek and Evan finding this week 1 of playoffs, Division 3 victory royale. Wow. What a great play from not only them, but everybody here at Valhalla Camp Hill. But we still have another team left. Full Box 200 could still be alive in Division 1, so let's take a peek at them. And it looks like they are here. Watching Eli's perspective. as these guys are holding a great angle here, able to put a bunch of suppressing fire on the team below them. And just got an update. Not only did we get first in Division 3, as we saw Evan and Zare clutch out, but we got second, third, and fourth. So an amazing drop from Valhalla Camp Hill in that division. So we're going to continue to watch Eli and Jordan here, though. Eli putting a bunch of fire on someone that he sees rotating, trying to stay out of the storm there. Jordan actually finding a bunch of crucial shots. Let's switch over to his perspective really quickly as Jordan wants a kill. Actually, he already got the kill. Eli down there as well. These guys that did give up their positioning, which isn't great, but these guys are good enough at the game that they're able to recover so quickly. And we see Jordan and Eli both right next to each other as they're already out of that storm, taking 0 damage from it. Still 20 people left. Still a lot of people left. 18 not counting Eli and Jordan. So these guys still, job is not done. They still got a lot of work to do here. And it looks like they're actually going to run right to another team, taking a lot of big damage. Jordan here is going to heal up a little bit. Go back to Eli's perspective. He didn't take nearly as much damage, if any at all. These guys are going to try and rotate away here. As I see Jordan getting left behind a little bit. Eli prioritizing that positioning, though. But yet again, it looks like we saw them land on another team. Eli finds a huge knock there. Goes for the finish. As we see them absolutely close the gap. Jordan doing his best to stay out of that storm. These guys bought themselves a little bit of time, not a lot though. Storm is coming back up quickly. Gonna try and get into the circle here. And it looks like they do secure that zone, so they are able to relax a little bit here. Heal up if they decide to. Neither of these guys are really in that scary of a position health-wise, so I anticipate that they're not going to do that. Save these health resources for later on when they take much more damage. Eli and Jordan trying to prioritize zone placement here. These guys want to close that gap now. Zone is fully submerged into the circle, or into storm already. These guys are going to have to play a little bit of a waiting game. Not really an ideal position for them to be just kind of on the side of a mountain, but we see them yet again jump right into a team. I don't know if this is by design or if this is just unlucky. And it looks like we have the battle for the mountaintop as it is in circle. It does look like Eli doing a best to cover a bunch of ground here. Jordan not being with him though. Jordan now finally going to close that gap. These guys are going to close even more distance. They're going to group back up. Jordan did take quite a bit of damage though. trying to share their mats here, but not a lot for either of them, as we're going to see the duo fire of this metal box as they find the knock. Great teamwork, but Eli's going to get knocked, maybe getting a little overzealous. Jordan's got a lot to do now. Jordan can find some big shots. Has to be so careful as he cannot even revive Eli at this point. He does have his reboot card, but none left. That would be a bold play. And Jordan going to drop down and find another kill.
Fortnite players, if you are in Division 2 or Division 3, you need to be back at your tables. You need to have your drop codes inputted. I want to make sure everyone is in and we are ready to
And a bunch of madness going around on Jordan. And takes a lot of damage. I believe found one knock, but can't find the second. Very unfortunate for them, as I believe we are in a little bit of no space right now. So insane plays from every single person that is playing tonight. Just incredible. Again, a little bit unlucky for Eli and Jordan there. I think those guys got a little bit too spaced out. Eli got a little overzealous, wanted to get those kills and just couldn't find them. Jordan just falling a little bit behind. So hopefully these guys, even though, you know, they got 6th place with like 10 kills or something, very good performance from those guys. But those guys hold themselves to such a standard that if they're not first, they're last. And it's not good that they do that. These guys expect the best from themselves and expect those top tier finishes. So hopefully they're able to clean it up a little bit more in the next drop. But we get back to that Division 3 drop. Wow. I cannot say enough how impressive that was. Division 3, we got to see Evan and Zarek secure the 1st place, but also us finding 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is incredible for Valhalla and Camp Hill. Just absolutely insane, as realistically, these are the times when it matters. We are in playoffs, week 1. For those of you that are unfamiliar with how the playoffs format works here, there's 2 weeks of playoffs, aka 4 drops in total. They take the best of those 3 drops, and that is your score, plus placement points that depends on how you do during the regular season of the league. So for example, we saw Evan and Zarek. Those guys finished top of the league. Don't know exactly how many, so don't ask me. I'm not going to try and quote that, but those guys finishing top of the league, having the majority, the most placement points out of any other team, and then finishing first in their first drop is absolutely insane for them. These guys trying to make sure that they win a banner. Zarek has been hunting for one for a little while now, and he is hungry, and I know he is. And as soon as we get confirmation that they are back in, we will find some more Fortnite for you guys to watch. But gonna do the same thing again. So it looks like Div 3 could be dropping any minute now. So again, just as soon as I get that official confirmation, we'll switch over. But just so incredible, and realistically, I can't wait to interview some of these kids up here tonight. Just insane levels of confidence, calmness, insane plays. As honestly, I think one of the reasons why we see Evan and Zarek work so well is because of their teamwork. These guys are so focused on each other and what each other are doing that we're not seeing the similar mistakes that we saw with Eli and Jordan, where they're not rotating at the same time or someone is leaving someone behind. Yes, there are very rare scenarios where we see maybe Evan gets stolen with a like a rift. That's the name of it. A portal rift or something like that. But prioritizing being with each other and being able to work together as a team instead of working as 2 individuals just on the same team, which is such a crucial way of thinking. And just so proud. And I know I don't even have to ask. I know every single person is in here is proud of how everybody has performed tonight so far, whether that be myself whether that be Andrew or Coach Kyle or Coach Jonathan, just beyond proud, especially of those Division III teams. Again, top 4 finishes is just absolutely insane. First week into playoffs. Wow, incredible. And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we could be seeing some more Fortnite. So as we officially load in here, we are going to start off with the winners, Evan and Zarek. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just waiting for their final loading in here. That Division I drop code is just now going up, so we will get to see more of Eli and Jordan a little bit later. Gonna do our best to watch these Div 3 teams again. And here we go, Evan and Zarek. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're not going to. It works. They just found a first place. It works. Gonna go to their unnamed dock POI as they're going to find infinite amount of metal. Find all of the loot that they need to give themselves a very confident early game into middle and late game. Shipping containers galore here. So we're going to start to see these guys loot up. Currently watching Evan's perspective, his POV, some way might say. So we see just from Uncrate, Evan's going to find 50 metal and some wood as the chest had it. And these guys know everything there is to know about this landing area, or where they like to land here, this drop spot for them. They know everything, even when it comes down to the amount of shields that they can get from the slurp barrels here on the ground. Just insane plays from these guys. As these guys start to loot up a little bit more, we are going to switch back to the robbers and see how those guys are doing so far in this early game. Looks like here they're actually on the edge of pump power, also trying to loot up a little bit, but loadouts being a little bit more finalized. Obviously not having great loot quite yet, but more stuff in general. And we have Coach Kyle in their call. Something that we like to do is we like to listen in, especially when the coaches are in there. So let's listen in very, very briefly while these guys are talking.
Hey, boys. Matthew, as the game continues, buddy, and you get closer to end of circle, make sure you're ditching that sniper rifle for something that's a little better close range.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, that's okay. Don't forget, guys, harvest everything here. There's so much metal. Like, Cone, you can start. Yep, there we go. Start taking them all out, dude. Everything. It's all mineable, boys. Be like Jack Black and long for the mines.
Yep.
Wow, not even
Chicken
a
jockey.
component. There it is. I was going to say, there's the chicken jockey. We got to give Coach Christian something into the streaming booth to enjoy.
Chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey. There you go. Mind those catwalks, dude.
Yeah.
Catwalks, the floors, it's all steel. It's like, Matthew, like right now, like, dude, seriously, just, yes. Look at that. Children yearn for the mines. Full Metal. You've heard of Full Metal Alchemist? Now it's time for Full Metal Fortnite.
Alrighty, as we see Those guys having quite a bit of fun trolling the stream a little bit, which of course we definitely appreciate, as these guys are going to continue to loot up here. But we're going to take a brief step away from the robbers, and we're going to see how the Cheezburgerz are doing in this drop so far. Oh, as I struggle here, here we go. Alrighty, as we find Lachlan here, these guys actually having very solid loadouts so far. Oh my gosh. And it looks like Lachlan and Bryce here hunting for some elims at this point. We see these guys definitely comfortable, especially Lachlan here, very comfortable with his loadout. Bryce potentially switching it up a little bit more last second, but also getting an idea of his loadout. Looks like he has a very balanced loadout as well. And this is actually another thing that we see from these guys. We see them go to this spa-ish kind of spot. I don't even really know what you would call that. But we see them go here. Excuse me. We see them go here quite a bit. So not crazy here. And actually we do see some footsteps, but they're going to decide to not engage. And actually, Bryce might have made the call there that he wanted to. Gonna ditch the car and gonna see if they can find some early kills here to gain themselves some momentum in this drop. Still seeing some of the footsteps. Keeping an eye out for that car just in case it starts to get going again. Some shots getting fired. Some exchanging going on. And it looks like Evan might see somebody. Maybe not. Just trying to get high ground potentially. And I believe we actually saw the weapon clip through the wall there. I don't know if that was my eyes tricking me or if that was correct. We haven't seen any other footsteps yet, so these guys either got out via car or are still here. And actually, Lachlan going to take quite a bit of damage, so they must still be here. Evan also going to take, or excuse me, Bryce also going to take a bit of damage. And looks like Bryce is going to get collapsed on here. Lachlan able to support him very quickly. Lachlan panicking a little bit though, misses quite a few shots, decides to get out, but leaves his teammate. Completely leaves his teammate. And Bryce has got a kneecapper, but it's going to be very hard for him to close that distance. Luckily, Bryce is able to find a car here. But not paying attention to where he's driving, so he gets a little stuck. Luckily, he doesn't get beamed. And actually, it looked like Lachlan could be under some fire here. Bryce going to find a good amount of shots, though. Potentially cracked. Finding so much damage. And now these guys are able to find the knock. And going to secure one elim. Should still be someone else there, potentially in Lachlan's builds. And actually, no, it looks like I missed it. Lachlan getting the kill earlier on. These guys already having a duo elim. And even though things were a little hectic, definitely probably not the way they wanted to take those engagements, they were able to secure kills and ultimately not end their game here. Looks like Division 1 could be just dropping right now, so I'll anticipate we get to see a lot of them here in a little bit. As this Division 3 game is surely but quickly winding down. And actually, Bryce going to find another knock there. Someone in the bush. Lachlan does a great job at building up, getting height. Finds a good shotgun shot. Finds a bunch of damage. Trying to find the finish here, and he does. Lachlan and Bryce going from 0 to 4 very quickly on. These guys are hunting for vengeance this game. They said, Zarek and Evan first place, drop number 1. Well, we're coming for drop number 2. Wow. Speaking of Evan and Zarek, let's pop in and see what they're doing. Looks like here, just trying to find positioning on the map. Slowly cruising around, making sure they just gather as much intel as possible. And actually here, looks like we switched at the perfect time. We saw some footsteps on the visual audio there. Finding a kneecapper there, that's huge. These guys are going to get out. Surprised we didn't see any shots get fired at them. They're just looting out in the open. The other team potentially rotating out though. Nothing quite yet for these guys, so we're going to go very quickly to Matthew and Cohen and see how these guys are doing. We find Cohen's screen here, his perspective. We're going to see these guys actually prioritize here positioning. It looks like they're going to try and find a bit of a mountaintop. Up the mountain they go, some would say. And pretty satisfied with their positioning so far. This is actually something we see a lot from Matthew and Cohen, doing a great job at prioritizing where they are on the map, making sure they have high ground. And actually, Cohen sees someone, does take one shot, does find a hit for 24 damage. Anticipate that they're not going to take that engagement full force unless they potentially find some really good shots. We don't know if Matthew still has that sniper or not. Doesn't look like he does. But Cohen here just dropped a gun. Now only has... Well, actually, they want to do a little bit of a switch here. So we're going to find some more shots get fired at the car. Matthew firing a bunch of shots at their car. These guys just going to do a great job at holding this high ground. So we're going to switch to the Cheezburgerz and see what those guys are doing, as it looks like they just got some kills. And it looked like, unfortunately, we missed that encounter. We saw on the kill feed from Matthew and Cohen's perspective, but doing their best to clean up a couple more kills. These guys now having a combined 6 kills, which is insane when it comes to the points that they can secure from them, especially if they get a really good placement here. It looks like they're going to decide to rift out of the black market, as another team could have been pushing them. And it looks like that other team wasn't able to follow them, so as long as these guys stay together, they've got to be feeling good. And looks like we're going to try and see them take this high ground here. And actually, Actually, someone below them. Bryce tries to find some shots. Maybe a little panicked, can't find any. Lachlan here trying to close the gap. We're going to go to his perspective here. Actually, it looks like they might just try and rotate out. Trying to do their best to heal up, but another team pushing Lachlan. Bryce finding a bunch of good damage, though, before he gets in a box himself. But unfortunately, Lachlan gets knocked here. It's all up to Bryce, and he's got a lot to do with not a lot of health. Gonna rift. Could potentially just get fully out here. Leaving Lachlan's reboot card behind, though. As it looks like he's actually going to get chased by the team that just killed his duo partner. They want to finish the job. Bryce, though, going to rift again to try and lose them. So it looks like he might have been successful. We could see him play one of these mountaintops. Very quickly, we're going to go to full box 200 and see how those guys are hanging in Division 1. So we have Jordan's perspective here. This guy's having 2 kills so far. We know they're hunting for more. Coach Kyle in their comm as well, being the voice of reason. Still a lot of time left for Eli and Jordan. Nothing too crazy from these guys yet, as they're going to continue to hunt around for some other teams. With that being said, we're going to go back to the honored ones, and we know those guys are hungry. Evan and Zarek trying to find a crucial victory royale yet again here. They want to seal the deal week 1. Actually, these guys here in a really good position. Looks like they're actually going to try to get on the backside of Demon's Dojo, not allow any team to rotate through it. So I might stand corrected here, as those guys could play for that mountaintop over there to the right, as they see another car. And these guys are going to get pushed a little bit. Evan going to take some damage getting hit by that car. But one gets knocked already. Zarek doing a great job at covering his teammate. And the car's going to explode. And I don't think they realize that there's another team right below them. Evan biffing the gold rush throw there a little bit. It's okay. Is able to get both of them back up to 200 though. A lot of combat going on in this Division 3 game at this point. 11 people left. 9 not counting Evan and Zarek. And we know Matthew and Cohen are still alive. And we know Lachlan and Bryce are still alive. Everyone doing a great job again. These guys are going to rotate out of their position. Unfortunately, it looks like they got max storm pool here. So a little unlucky, a little unfavorable for them, but they have a lot of time to mosey on over and try to take a desired path. Especially the fact that they still have a car in these circles is crucial for them, as they're going to find some players here, try and catch them off guard. And actually, I think it's Matthew and Cohen. It is. Derek already knocked Cohen. And now they're going to hunt for Matthew. Evan doing a great job in putting a bunch of pressure on him. Gets into his box. Finds a good bit of damage. Can he find the elim? Zarek going to come in and clean up the last couple of shots, though, saving his teammate, securing the kills, and unfortunately taking out a Valhalla Camp Hill teammate and competitor, that being the robbers, Matthew and Cohen. 6 people left, 4 not counting them. We still anticipate that at least one of those teams is Lachlan and Bryce. These guys are going to take quite a bit of damage to the storm here. Zarek finding a bunch more shots. Actually, we're going to go on to Zarek here as he finds another knock, another elim. Evan and Zarek, and actually, I don't know why I kept saying Lachlan and Bryce. It was just Bryce. I completely forgot that Lachlan had gotten eliminated this drop so far. So 5 people left, 3 not counting Evan and Zarek. And we're going to watch these guys until the end. And we know Matthew and Cohen are out. Guy's going to try and get back up to as much health as they can. And this is not going to be a great final fight here, potentially, as it is in the water. Wow, what a shot there from Zarek. How did he even see that guy? Just one piece of his head just for no reason. I don't even know how he saw a player over there. Gonna try and find some shots at the person rifting in. That actually might be Bryce. These guys are in such a good position here, right on the edge of zone. Everyone has to come to them. And if I heard the comms there correctly, Evan cracked that player. But Zarek finding 175 before that player can even react. Zarek unfortunately missing some shots there. That's not very like him. These guys are going to try and hold their high ground. Fortunately, Zarek does fall in the water here. Evan not far behind him, though. Oh, an explosive shot coming through on Zarek. Is able to cover for most of it. Does not take a huge amount of damage. It is a potentially either a 1v1v2 or a 2v2. 4 players left. 2 not counting Evan and Zarek. And very quickly, we're going to tune into these guys' comms.
Get up, get up.
Okay. Just keep pressing. You got height on you, so just be ready.
No, he doesn't. He's not fight. What are you talking about?
Oh no, Evan! Evan, no! Oh, Evan just cracked the whole thing.
Okay, I hit him for something.
I'm yelling.
Evan, that's incredible. Way to crack him for everything, buddy. Attaboy.
No.
No.
Cringe.
Okay. Oh, yep. He's gonna keep throwing thermite at you, so be ready.
Oh, I have no mats.
No, it's okay. So right now, yep, you gotta stop trying to run up like that. Play underneath him and wait for him to come to you if you can. Like stay directly under him.
Nah.
Ah.
Unfortunate there for Zarek and Evan, as those guys are only able to find a second place finish. But we still have Div 1, we still have full box 200. So let's see how those guys are doing so far. And we see them very quickly as we join in. Eli gonna find some kills here. And Eli and Jordan having a combined 8 kills this game is absolutely insane. And it looks like we're going to get some interviews here from some of the Division 3 players very quickly. And it looks like I'm going to have Cohen come up first. Cohen, welcome to the booth, my friend. What a great performance from you guys this week. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good with our games. We did, it worked out for the way we placed, and we picked up some kills on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys being a little bit of a newer squad here, what were your guys' real goals and expectations going into this week 1 of playoffs?
Good comms and good placement, I guess, and just try to get the kills.
Yeah,
Be
absolutely.
safe.
I mean, we saw you guys, I believe, what was it? Get like a 4th place, and was it another 4th or a 5th or something? You guys having very consistent drops. What are you guys hoping to finalize here as we move into the next week of playoffs?
Just try to get better placement and be better with your killing and getting the elims.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finishing.
Well, Cohen, thank you so much for your time up here. I'm not going to hold you up too much longer, but congratulations on your drops tonight, and we're excited to see how you guys do next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, we're going to have Lachlan come up. He makes his way up to the booth. Lachlan, we saw a very favorable drop and then a little bit of an unfortunate drop. Can you talk to me about how you're feeling after the drops tonight?
I'm feeling really good.
Really good. So we saw, I believe, was it drop number 1? You guys got like 2nd or 3rd place. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that means for you guys momentum-wise going into next week, that being week 2 of playoffs?
I think Bryce and me are really confident because we've always had like a winning streak or like 2nd, 3rd.
Yeah,
5th.
absolutely. Yeah, you guys have always placed very consistently, and I think we gotta say it. You two and Evan and Zarek having a little bit of that battle, that friendly rivalry, as some might say. Those guys having 2 very good drops. What are you hoping to move into next week to kind of take or fight for potentially that banner?
I want to work on like maybe peeking because I know Bryce really likes to peek and try to take shots, which I love because he always hits them. But I really want to take on Jarek and Evan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, I don't blame you. Those guys are a tough team to beat. Well, Lachlan, thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations on your drops this weekend. We're looking forward to see how you guys do next week as well. All right, thank you very much. And we're going to get back to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Back to Eli and Jordan as they run a train through on this Division 1, or at least try to. We have 10 kills in total. These guys hunting for more. Holding a very good position here. Having Coach Kyle backing them up just in case they need it. Actually being right on the edge of zone here. A lot of teams are going to have to go towards them. And Eli tries to find a couple shots, doesn't find anybody quite yet. Did see a head. Just a little unfortunate to not land any of the shots. And again, these guys holding such a good position here. As we see the little water spray, he's making his way into the zone. Let's see if he's got a team following up behind him. Someone right above them, right on that shrine, on top of the hill that they're on the side of. They could apply some pressure to that team, or that team could apply a lot of pressure to them. They have low ground compared to that team right now. They're going to have to be very careful about how they decide to rotate here. A zone is going to give them max pull yet again. And we're going to see Jordan there use the Sub-Zero power and insane movement items. He's going to cover so much distance in such little time. These guys not even worrying about anything, just prioritizing that positioning as they secure zone. And are the first team to do so. And now every other team is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage because they're going to have to run towards Eli and Jordan. Trying to find a couple shots here. Going to shoot out the box. Eli actually going to be the one that takes some damage. And Eli finds a quick elim. Only has to hit him a couple times. Does hit one there for 33. Jordan also laying some pressing fire, but that guy fully in storm now. Going to take a lot of damage. Someone right on that build, right to the right of them. Looks like they don't want to take that engagement. Eli, I believe, taking some damage here. This team does not want to give up this amazing position here. And really, this team wants to secure a first place here. Not a lot of people left. Actually, it's just a 2v2. Eli and Jordan having a combined 11 kills. These guys having low ground, though. Eli using some natural cover here. And he actually gets dropped right on. Misses some shots, though. Still a 2v2. And Eli actually going to try and contest. Does get a swing off. Don't know if he... I know he hit some damage. Don't know if he flung any of them into Storm, though. These guys are going to go through that natural cover, go through the building, and get a little called out as these guys are completely stuck at this point. Oh, a huge edit there from Eli as he can't find the shot. Jordan going to put a lot of pressure on him, though. An intense game. This could go anybody's way. Eli finds a huge shot. He finds one knock. Finds another huge shot, 97. Can Eli and Jordan finish it off here? As long as they don't play too aggressive, they calm down, they can secure this victory. Jordan laying a bunch of suppressing fire, and they do find the victory royale. Eli and Jordan having a much better drop this one than they did number 1. Congratulations to Eli and Jordan, and hopefully we get to talk to just insane amount of Fortnite that we got to see tonight. Insane placements, and here he comes, Eli, the man, the myth, the legend. We know he's pumped up. Eli, what a drop. What 2 drops. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling after those drops?
I feel very well. Probably could have done better on the first drop. We had the best loot for the first drop. Just max pulls, no builds, didn't get refresh endgame.
Yeah.
That's what we could have done there.
So something that even I predicted was that you guys weren't going to be satisfied with that drop. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you think went wrong in that drop? You guys could have done a little differently, if anything.
The one thing I could have done differently, Jordan did very well that game. The one thing I could have done differently is not key, because I keyed this one kid after knocking his teammate, and without telling Jordan, I keyed. I hit him 99. He's got 1 pumped in the face.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
Somebody just sprayed me from above and I died.
So we saw drop 2 there. You guys being in a little bit of a rough situation, being on that low ground. Is that something that you and Jordan actually preferred, or was that just the situation that you guys had to take and you were just going to own that decision?
Our situation was just perfect there. I mean, we had basically everything. They just kept holding us in. Jordan had a great shot, hit him 29 white, I killed him. Pretty easy there at the end.
Absolutely, and I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What are you guys hoping to fix and hoping to perform as we move into playoffs week 2?
I don't think there's nothing we can do, but the one thing is, I mean, I don't think there is anything actually, because we just kept rotating as the same team like every game. We just didn't let anything happen. We just kept rotating as a team. We barely even let anybody tag us rotate.
Yeah.
In last game, there's 5 people left. There's nobody left. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it showed, and you guys played phenomenally, especially that drop too. Well, Eli, thank you so much. Congratulations on your victory tonight, and hopefully we'll get to see some more victories from you guys week number 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, and Jordan, he wants to get out of here. He's ready to go. He needs to calm down, but gonna pull him up to the booth anyway. Jordan, what's going on? Talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling after those 2 drops.
Good. I believe we played like the best of our ability the second game. First game we could have did like some things better, but
Yeah, so I asked Eli the same question. I want to ask it to you as well. We saw you guys, again, get a little unfortunate there on drop number 1. Can you talk to me really about what you guys think you could have done differently?
we could have like farmed more mats because in that game we had to key someone because we had no mats, and obviously that went bad. So I think we should farm our mats and focus on that more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw drop 2, you guys being able to secure a victory. What does something like that do for you guys moving into week number 2 of playoffs?
Definitely boosts our confidence. It's better than if we got a 7th or like 8th. Not good placement, but
yeah, absolutely. And yet again, I asked the same thing to Eli. I want to get your opinion on it as well. I have a feeling I know the answer, but what, if anything, are you guys hoping to improve on and try to secure another 2 victories here?
Honestly, it's just communication, listening, and obviously what I said, farming mats. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah,
we're doing pretty good.
I mean, especially drop 2. We saw some absolutely insane Fortnite come out of you guys. So, you guys definitely deserve to hold and ride that momentum into next week, and hopefully we get to see at least another victory, if not another 2, which I know you guys are going to be gunning for. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
All right, and now finally, it's not a Monday night Fortnite stream if Coach Kyle doesn't get to join me up in the booth.
The highlight of my Monday, Coach Christian, how we doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Coach Kyle. How are you doing after some amazing Fortnite?
I feel great. This is everything I wanted and dreamed of for a playoff start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
Division 3, having first, second, third, fourth place, and then having
fifth.
Oh, and fifth. Yeah, and then
first 5 places casually.
Drop 2, doing exceptionally well.
Yeah, of course.
Like, And we gotta talk about it. Evan and Zarek. Those guys are just so consistent.
It's disgusting.
First place, second place.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, can you talk to me a little bit about some of the stuff that goes on with those two?
Well, I mean, I would have liked another first place. No, I'm kidding.
Well, of course.
No, I'm kidding. No, again, it's just all the stuff that you and I feel like I've talked about so many times this season, where it's just like we trust the process, we trust each other, and we kind of build those skills. And as time goes on, and as we keep to grow and develop, it winds up becoming the kind of thing that it needs to be, right? The one thing, and so we had team debriefs tonight. Which
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I got to touch base with every single duo and be like, hey, like, what are you doing well? What are you doing? What do you want to improve on? And the one thing that I had told Zarek multiple times was like, dude, your IGLing has gotten better. And to the point, like, those of you at home might not know this. Zarek did not want to be an IGL. Zarek actually looked at me with a look in his eyes and said, "Oh, please God, no! I don't want to do this." And to watch him communicate so effectively, so efficiently, so assertively has been awesome. And I think, truthfully, that is part of the success. And one of the cool things about having a teammate like Zarek is the confidence that brings. Because when Evan was playing in other divisions, I had the pleasure of having Evan twice in my group stages when we did group Fortnite. And I never saw Evan take the fights that he takes now. I've never seen Evan take the shots that he takes now. And part of it is that there's a confidence in his teammate that he knows if something goes wrong, he's got someone who's got his back. And part of it is a confidence in himself.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things was I was with them for one of the fights in match 1. And one of the things that I noticed was Zarek just missed every shot, and he's flubbing it and just flopping around. And Evan just goes, bloop, bloop, and there's just 2 kills. And it's awesome to be like, because I know we hype up Zarek and his accuracy, his ability to confirm kills. But like Evan was just like, it's fine. If Zarek can't close, I will close.
Well, so, and that's something that even Evan himself is aware of, which I think is wisdom beyond his years. Is just that he knows that his level of comfortability and confidence that comes with having Zarek as his duo.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's a confidence that comes to everybody. I have said it multiple times on stream. I've said it multiple times to you, multiple times to Coach Andrew. But like, this is the best Fortnite Valhalla Camp Hill has ever played. On every division, in every division. So yeah, I'm thrilled. Again, on Division 3, so many like sleepers, so many confident plays. Of
course, absolutely.
So many good, solid macro decisions. Like, I'm thrilled.
Absolutely. Now I want to talk a little bit about Eli and Jordan having a good, but ideally not what they wanted from Drop 1, and cleaning it up much better Drop 2. Can you talk to me about some of the stuff that you were seeing with them?
Absolutely, I can. So I was not there for the majority of Drop 1, but this is something that, again, we had team debriefs, and this was something I mentioned to Jordan and Eli. When the two of them are focused and taking steps to take big moves together, they can't lose.
Yeah.
They just can't. So if they're going to lose, and I know exactly what happens, I knew exactly what it was before they debriefed me after their game. And I was like, what happened? Like, we didn't take it together. I'm like, I know you didn't take it together because it's 6th place and not 1st.
Yep. No, absolutely.
And shocker.
And that was something that, not even that situation that ended up eliminating them, but we saw happen quite a bit in that Drop 1 where someone would start to rotate and the other one was behind, and it was just like that desync.
So we talk about tempo a lot when we're talking about the pace of a game, and having an off-kilter tempo like that can kill your game.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not like the moment that it happens, even if it's not the moment you watch a player get eliminated, those sort of shaky, bad moments of tempo, those stutters, those moments where we're not communicating, those moments where we're, bouncing around when we shouldn't be, bouncing off each other, not talking, not having those opportunities, that ruins the tempo of a game. It gets you out of the mindset. You're not in that flow state where you're just crushing, and that's part of it. So
yeah, absolutely.
But, in Drop 2, we got there.
Yeah, absolutely you did.
And that's, again, you probably heard me in comms with them, but I kept saying, like, guys, you have to play consistently. And they are playing consistently. They managed to get a massive material advantage in mats. They managed to get a great loot advantage, tons of heals, tons of great rotational items. And every time I was in a fight with them, I'm like, guys, take it slowly. You probably heard me say that a dozen times on stream. Take it slowly. Keep going. Slow push. Play the angles.
Absolutely.
And shocker, when we do that, we crush. Now, again, there were even a couple times in that match where I'm like, Jordan, you need to calm that you're shooting at somebody. Eli, you need to calm that you're shooting at somebody.
Course.
And that's one of the things that Coach Jonathan and I both honed in on. We were like, guys, you two need to start focusing your fire together. So.
Yeah, and we saw an amazing improvement of that. And finally, you said it multiple times. This was some of the greatest Fortnite we've ever seen. Of course, I think we're hoping to see some more Fortnite like this next week. But can you talk to me
yes.
about maybe any predictions or anything you want to say when we talk about moving forward into the final week of playoffs here?
I hate making predictions because I don't believe in them at this point. Everything
Knock on
that
wood.
we can no, but like I mean, everything that we could do to put ourselves into a position to win a banner, we have done already.
Absolutely.
Everything that we needed to do, we have done in blood, sweat, and tears for the X amount of weeks leading up to this, and in the practice that the kids are putting in at this point. I don't need a prediction. I don't need faith. I don't need, at this point, I have done all that I can do. But not only am I confident, but it's out of my hands now.
Yeah,
at this point, it is on our athletes to execute the plan.
No, absolutely
now,
right.
I'm going to come in with my strategy debrief just like I did before. I'm going to continue to have those conversations with my team. But I got to be honest, at this point, if we continue to play the way that we have been playing, I will be hanging 2 more banners.
Absolutely. No,
And that's
absolutely. I agree.
And I think we can do it. It is within the realm of our possibility to accomplish that goal and to make that thing happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for your time up here, Coach Al. Congratulations.
As always, Coach
And,
Christian.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Always.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for us here at Valhalla Campbell. Thank everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, for supporting us, for everything you guys do for us. It means the world to all of us here at Valhalla Campbell. But with that being said, tune in tomorrow for either some playoffs Apex or some playoffs Overwatch. And with that being said, from myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here at Valhalla Campbell, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.